Hello and welcome to this preliminary guide to the new strike encounter Old Lion's Court. To start with, I have to put in a disclaimer first because so far I don't think every mechanic has been figured out to 100% yet, but with LN, with Lucky Noobs, we tested quite a bit yesterday, so this video and all information in this video is just based on the knowledge I have, and that might change in the future. Alright, let's go into the encounter. To start with, I will just describe now what I think is important to know when you want to go in and when you want to prepare a squad for this encounter. There is definitely some unavoidable damage in this encounter, so you definitely want to take one or maybe two healers. I think one should be enough if you have like a good group, but if you just want to kill the encounter, then two healers in pack groups are, I think, fine. Then you definitely want to take DPS and support classes that have a decent amount of CC. Other than that, you will have some mechanics that will force you to go out of melee range. So having access to range DPS is also favorable. Other than that, I think you can play good both Condi and power classes in this strike, even though I think in a decent group, because there are relatively short phases if you compare to like other strike or raid encounters. Now let's start with the boss itself. The boss is split into 3 different champions or 3 different legends, I don't know even. The first one you have to fight is the prototype Vermilion. I will just call him Red from now on in this video. When you go into combat, this guy will instantly go into a CC phase, and as said before, you will not be able to damage him during that phase, but you are able to stack up conditions already. That's why conditions are like still decent, even though those phases are relatively short. During the CC phase, they always channel instant kill mechanics, so you have to be really sure that you are not standing in the AoE there. And when you did the CC, so when you break the Defiance bar, the area that is covered from the attack is reversed. So you see it here. First we have a circle where we can attack in melee range around Red Guardian here. And when we CC him, the area that was covered is not covered anymore, and the area that was not covered is now covered in an AoE. And again, both of those AoEs are instant kill mechanics, so you really don't want to stand in them. Another mechanic on the Red Guardian is the white circle around him. While the Red Guardian is channeling that attack, you will see 2 white circles around him. And the first time he does that, you are basically choosing which pattern you are taking. So the first time he does it, you can stand in the white area that's close to him and in the white area that's far from him. And the second time, it's basically the other way around. So if you choose to be close to him the first time he does this attack, you have to go far the second time, then close again the third time, and then far the fourth time, and so on. And obviously the other way around is also true, so if you go far the first time, you go close the next time, then far again, and then close. Basically just always go where the white area is. For every player that is standing wrong, so for every player that should be far but is close, or should be close but is far, he does one wave attack. And that wave attack is like, if it's only one, it's not deadly, like it's but if you have like 9 players all standing wrong there, then you have a pretty hard time as healer to OT that mechanic. So just always play it, like there's no reason not to, because you should have a class that has range attacks anyway. Next we have the Green Guardian, and a lot of stuff that was true for the Red prototype is true for the Green Guardian as well. So he will start with a channel attack where you can break his Defiance bar, and after you break his Defiance bar, the AoE area is basically reversed. So you see that he covers half the arena with his channel attack, and after he is CC'd, he will cover the other half of the arena. Then the pattern is the same. He channels his attack through. You can apply conditions while he is channeling, but you cannot damage him. Then he gets an expose buff and you can just burst him basically. Another mechanic of the Green Guardian is the pull mechanic. And basically what you can already assume here is that he will pull you, and the further you are from him, the less damage he does. So during his pull attack, where he has like several orange rings around him, you wanna be, I don't know, like 600 range at least, so he does not do too much damage. You can out-heal that if you have like 2 healers and they do a good job, but if you want to be safe, just go away from him, just don't stay melee, and you should be fine. You definitely don't want to stay in the red AoE. It's not an instant kill, but it deals a lot of damage. Then we have the Blue Guardian, and again, the Blue Guardian is channeling an attack at the start, and when you break his Defiance bar, the area which is covered and the area where you can stand in is reversed again. And then the Blue Guardian has a push mechanic, and it basically a reverse mechanic from the Green Guardian. So the Green Guardian pulls you, and the closer you are to him, the more damage you get. And with the Blue Guardian, it's the other way around. So he pushes you, but the closer you are to him, the less damage you get. So with the Blue Guardian, it's really easy to actually just walk up to him and therefore counter the push mechanic. So just stay close to him, press your forward key, whatever that is, like it's W for most of us, I guess, and then you should be fine. There's also another mechanic, which is that he is applying an expanding AoE around 3 players. From our testing, it seems to be the 3 furthest players away from the blue prototype, and you can just go out with them. They don't seem to do much damage, but yeah, maybe those mechanics will get relevant in the CM. One of the players that gets those expanding AoE will also get a teleport back after he places his AoE. So basically, when you place the AoE, there will be a marker with your guild tag, and after like 2 seconds or so, you are teleported back to that. But those mechanics are not doing a lot of damage, so just bring them out so the AoEs don't overlap, and then your group should be fine. Now we have the probably most dangerous mechanic in this fight. It's when all 3 of the prototypes go into their CC phase and they basically cover the whole platform, and you have to figure out which one you have to CC so that you get an area which is not covered. This mechanic appears once at 80, once at 40, and once at 10%. And the order in which you have to CC is always green at 80%, red at 40%, and blue at 10%. After you face the Guardians, they will always despawn and then respawn again. And when they respawn, there is a small orange AoE on the ground. You have a lot of time until they respawn after they jump on the ground again. But just don't stand in this tiny red circle and you should be fine. If you stand in it, well, you will be dead. Another attack that I didn't mention yet is the Ethereal Field. Those are the red AoEs that are like shimmering white. It's part of the Green Guardian's auto attack chain. And every time he does like an orange AoE in front of him, an expanding field will appear that, when it's fully expanded, will develop into those red ethereal fields. just don't send him them. There is an achievement that you never touch such an AoE. They do a lot of damage, but they don't instant kill. You can also dodge out and in of them. Yeah. Last but not least, we have the tanking mechanic. And from our testing, it seems to be always applied after the ads get CC'd or after their expose buff runs out. And for the blue guardian, it seems to be the furthest person, and for the red and green guardian, it seems to be the closest person. So if you want to have the tank, just try to be close to green and red and far away from blue. If you have the tank for a phase, you get an icon with the respective color on it, and yeah, then you add the tank for the phase. Again, the auto attacks don't hit too hard, so yeah, you should be fine if you get the tank, even as DPSler. But obviously, if you are like a class that needs flanking, like Soul Beast, or if you have like Thief Runes, then you should try to avoid getting the tanking mechanic. When there are several guardians or several prototypes on the field, there is a mechanic when they stay too close to each other. There will always be one guardian that is vulnerable and one that is invulnerable. You obviously want to attack the guardian that is vulnerable. And the other one should be kited away, because if not, he does his more powerful mechanics. So the shielded one will not do his powerful mechanics. For the green guardian, that is the pull mechanic. For the blue guardian, that is the push mechanic. And for the red guardian, that is the wave mechanic. Those are the strong mechanics, and if you don't want them, because they can get quite nasty if they overlap, you always should make sure that the tank of the guardian with the shield, so which the guardian that is invulnerable, is always kiting it around from the other guardian. In the very last phase, all three of the guardians will be there, and they get vulnerable in the order of red, then green, and then blue. So you honestly, they only have like 10% HP left, so you can just burst them down real quick and don't have to worry about kiting the others too much. Especially the red guardian should die pretty fast, and after red you just run to green, kill green real quick, and then go to blue, and if blue is the only one left, like it's actually really easy to just kill him. Yeah, I think that's everything I know so far, and I hope that helped you if you want to do this encounter. Honestly, it's not too hard, but I really like the mechanics. I'm looking forward to the CM. The only thing that's a bit annoying is the invulnerable time and the downtime between phases. But otherwise, I think it's a nice encounter, and I really can only recommend you to try it.